Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to yet another experiment in Schedule 1. My name is Savin, founder, president, and CEO of the Syndicate. Now, as you can see, I have taken a break from the warehouse, and I'm hanging out here in the motel. That's because today's experiment is going to be quite different than the experiments we've previously run. This time around, we are going to talk about dealers, and my main man, Benji, lives right next door to this motel room. Now, I have absolutely no idea whether or not this experiment will be successful, but we're gonna give it the old college try and see if this actually works as planned. So let me go ahead and run you through what we're going to be doing today. As you see over here, I've got a couple of large storage racks all ready to rock and roll. And if we open them up, you'll see that they are chock full of bricks of bud. So what I have here is regular OG Kush. I have poor quality, standard, premium, and heavenly. And below that, I have a 4-ingredient mix. Same thing, poor, standard, premium, and heavenly. And on the second shelf, I have an 8-ingredient mix. Same thing, 20 bricks of poor, standard, premium, and heavenly quality. It is 4 a.m., so we're gonna get ready to head to bed. However, if we open up our dealer map here, you'll see that Benji currently has nothing in his inventory, and he has one customer, our main man, Austin. Now, I chose Austin for 2 reasons. Number 1, Austin is a morning customer, meaning he should be hitting Benji up pretty darn early in the morning. And number 2, Austin prefers weed. So if you do not know, customers have a preference of which of the drugs they like or which of the drugs they prefer. So choosing Austin means we should get an early morning order, and we should be almost guaranteed that he will order something because we are going to be selling weed. So what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is in the morning, I'm gonna start off with the poor quality OG Kush. I'm gonna grab this brick, we're gonna head next door and give it to Benji. Then we're gonna wait for Benji to meet up with Austin, do his deal, and we're gonna see how much did he sell and how much money did we make. Then I'm gonna reload the save, and we're gonna do the same thing with the standard, the premium, the heavenly quality, so on and so forth until we've tried all 12 variants. So we're gonna run this experiment the exact same for 12 different transactions. We're gonna see if there's any difference in the amount of bud that was actually purchased, and 2, the amount of money that we made from the transaction. That being said, all that's left to do is head to bed and get started on day 1.
Tomorrow.
All right, morning time. Let's grab our poor quality OG Kush and let's pay Benji a visit here. Hey Benji, how you doing? There's your product for the day. Go make that deal, buddy. So now we're just gonna sit back and wait until Benji actually goes out and does this deal. All right, Benji has just completed his deal with Austin. We're gonna talk to him. $480 is what he has collected. So he sold 13 OG Kush at the poor quality for $480. Excellent. So that's our result from the first sale. We're going to go ahead and reset and bump this up to standard and see if that has any difference. All right, let's go ahead and grab our standard OG Kush. Let's pay a visit to Benji. Hey, Benji, how you doing, man? Here is your product for today. Go make your deal. And now we just sit back and wait until Benji does his deal with Austin. Deal is done. Benji, what do we got? So once again, we are earning $480 for the exact same amount. He sold 13 buds of standard, the exact same as poor quality. Next up, premium. All right, let's grab our premium. Let's get Benji set up. Benji, how you doing, man? There you go. There's your product for the day. Go make that deal with Austin. All right, we're going to sit back and wait. He's going to meet Austin here in just a little bit, and we will see what he sells. All right, Benji, what you got, brother? All right, once again, 480 bucks. The exact same amount of buds sold. Let's move on to Heavenly. Let's grab our Heavenly OG Kush. Let's get Benji all stocked up here. All right, Benji, there you go, man. Sell away. Now we kick back and wait until he makes his deal. All right, Benji, what do you got for me, brother? 480 bucks. So once again, he sold the exact same amount monetarily, and 13 OG Kush, even though it was the Heavenly quality. So the exact same over every single one we've done so far, whether it be poor, standard, premium, or Heavenly. Every interaction was 13 buds for the exact same amount coming back our way, $480. So now we are going to move on to our 4 ingredient setup, which is the Mega Fuel. Let's see how Benji does with the Mega Fuel. All right, we're starting off with the poor quality Mega Fuel. Let's head next door, get Benji stocked up. Hey Benji, how you doing, man? There is your Mega Fuel. Get that sold, brother. And we're gonna sit back, wait for him to make his deal with Austin, and we will see how much he sells and how much he sells it for with the poor quality. There's the handoff. All right, Benji, what do you got for us? Okay, interesting. So we made 456 with the 4 ingredient OG Kush, but how many did he sell? He only sold 4. So we went from 13 buds down to 4 buds for $456. Very interesting. Let's bump it up to standard. Let's grab our standard Mega Fuel and we'll get Benji all stocked up. All right, brother. There you go. Get that deal made. Boom, deal done. All right, let's get ahead of him here. Benji, what do we got? Once again, $456 and the exact same amount of buds sold. So we've got 4 buds sold in the standard quality. Excellent. Let's move on to premium. Let's grab our premium Mega Fuel. Head next door, get Benji all set up. Hey Benji, here you go, brother. There's your product for today. Get out there and get that deal made. Deal done. All right, Benji, what do you got for me? Once again, $456 made, and we have 19 bricks, 3 jars, and 1 loose. So once again, he has sold 4 buds for $456. Interesting. All right, let's move on to Heavenly. And last for the Mega Fuel is Heavenly quality. Let's go ahead and get Benji set up here. All right, Benji, here is your Heavenly quality product. Get out there and get that sold, brother. And the deal is done. Benji, what do you got for me? Once again, $456, and let me guess, 4 buds sold. Indeed, 4 buds sold. So there you go. Every single sale, exact same amount was sold for the exact same profit. However, in comparison to the regular OG Kush, we've sold significantly less buds, and the money was relatively close. But let's move on now to our 8 ingredient mix, and we will do all the math and that kind of stuff at the very end once we get all of our deals done. So next up is our 8 ingredient OG Kush mix. All right, let's start off with Big Mint Poor Quality. This is the 8 ingredient mix. Let's head next door. All right, Benji, here you go. I'd like to give you that. Get that sold. Let's get this deal made. All right, right, Benji, hold on, brother. Let me see what you got. Excellent. So we have earned $512, and let's see how many buds we actually sold. We have sold 3. So this 8-ingredient product, we have sold 3 buds and brought in $512. Interesting. Let's move on to the standard quality. Let's grab our standard quality Big Mint, and let's get Benji set up. There you go, man. Get that sold for me. There we go, deal done. Once again, we've made $512, and we have sold 3 Big Mints. We've sold 3 for $512. Excellent, excellent. Let's move on to premium. Premium in hand. Let's get it over to Benji here. All right, Benji. There you go, bud. Get that sold. Let's do it. Benji, what you got, brother? $512. And once again, 3 buds sold. Very nice. All right, let's move on to the heavenly quality. Last pile here are the heavenly Big Mint stack. Let's get this over to Benji. All right, Benji. There you go, dude. Get that sold. Let's finish this bad boy off. Deal done, $512, and once again, 3 buds sold. Some very interesting results from our first round here. However, I'm not quite done. I want to repeat these same tests with another customer, and let me explain why. Austin has very low standards. So what happens when we use another customer who has a little bit higher standards? Such as my man, Jeff Gilmore. He also prefers weed. He's a morning guy. However, he has moderate standards. So what I've done here is we have removed Austin from Benji's customer list, and we have replaced him with Jeff. So we're gonna see if the higher standards plays any role in this. I'm gonna head to bed, get up early in the morning, and we are going to get Benji stocked up as soon as we can, and we will repeat this process and see what this customer does.
Tomorrow.
All right, morning time. Let's start off with the poor quality OG Kush. Here you go, Benji. He's all stocked up. Now let's wait until he goes to meet Jeff and see how much he sells. And boom, there we go, deal done. Ooh, look at that. $0 with the poor quality. And boom, there it is. Okay, Benji set up the deal, went to meet Jeff, and Jeff was like, dude, what is this crap? I ain't buying that. So he rejected the poor quality. Interesting. So let's go ahead and reset, and we will try this again with standard. Back in, let's grab our standard OG Kush, get it over to Benji so he can meet Jeff. Here you go, man. Get that sold. Let's see if Jeff will bite this time. Deal is done. Benji, what do we got? Okay, so we have $320. So that deal, he sold 9 standard OG Kush buds for $320. Let's reset and bump it up to premium. Premium OG Kush in hand. Let's get it over to Benji. There you go, buddy. Get that sold to Jeff. Deal done. What do we got? Once again, $320 earned and 9 buds sold of the premium quality. Let's set back up for heavenly quality. And heavenly quality in hand. Let's go. There you go, dude. Get that sold. Let's see how much you make. I'm going to hazard a guess that he's going to sell $320 worth of buds, and the amount of buds sold is going to be 9. go. Deal done. All right, Benji. $320 and 9 buds sold. As predicted, exactly what I expected to happen. Now let's move on to our 4-ingredient mix. And we're going to start with the poor quality and see if Jeff will bite. All right, we've got our poor quality Mega Fuel. Let's get it over to Benji. There you go, dude. And let's see if Jeff will bite on the poor quality Mega Fuel. Oh, I didn't see any words, any thanks. Let's see, what do we got? Nothing. And 20 bricks. So there you go. Jeff said, buddy, I got quality standards you gotta meet or I ain't buying. Interesting. Okay. So we are getting some very, very good information on this experiment, guys. Let's go ahead. Let's reset with the standard quality. All right, here we go. Let's go standard Mega Fuel. There you go, man. Get that sold. Let's see what Jeff will give you for the 4-ingredient OG Kush mix. Boom, deal done. All right, Benji, what you got for me? Okay, $332, and we have sold 3 buds. 3 buds for $332. I think what I'm gonna do now is we're gonna try the premium product. If the results are the exact same, we're gonna move on to the 8-ingredient mix and go from there. So let's reset for premium. Let's grab our premium Mega Fuel. There you go, man. Get that sold. Let's see how much you make. Deal done. Excellent. Benji. Oh, Benji. Where'd he go? He disappeared. Okay. Back to the motel. All right, Benji. Disappearing on me. What do you got? So yes, as expected, $332 and 3 buds sold. So the results were exactly what I expected. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the 8-ingredient mixture. We're going to start at pour. See if Jeff will actually bite on that, and we'll go from there. Big mint, poor quality in hand. Let's get it over to Benji. Benji, there you go, man. Let's see if Jeff will bite on that. My guess is probably not. Well, so Benji used his teleportation powers. I have no idea where he went, so we're just gonna wait for him to get back. There he is. Okay. He teleported. All right, let's see. Did he bite? And the answer is no. Once again, Jeff said, get that poor quality crap out of my face. I am not buying that. And there you go, 20 bricks still in hand. Well, let's set up for standard. Standard quality, big mint, our 8-ingredient setup. There you go, dude. Let's see what Jeff does with that. And we'll see if Benji teleports again. And poof. Yep. Man, Benji using his teleportation powers. Ah, that's him. All right, Benji. And there's Jeff glowing in the background. Let's get out of the street, Benji, and you tell me what you got here. Okay, $348, and he sold 2 buds. So 2 buds for $348. Very nice. Let's go ahead and do this one more time with premium, and if the results are the same, then we'll call it there. Premium Big Mint. Let's get it over to Benji. There you go, man. And now let's see if he does his vanishing act, his teleportation act again. Oh, nope, he's walking this time. He's hoofing it. Boom. Cheers, dog. Okay, Benji. before you disappear on me. $348 and 2 buds sold. So exactly the same results. Let's go ahead and go through all of the math from today's experiment and wrap it up. It is time to nerd out and go over all the math, ladies and gentlemen. And we're gonna start with Austin. Now, Austin has low standards, so he'll buy pretty much everything. We saw with the OG Kush, it did not matter what the quality of the bud, he purchased 13 buds for $480. And if we take a look at the Mega Fuel, which is the 4-ingredient mix, he purchased 4 buds for $456. Again, it did not matter the quality of the product. And if we take a look at the Big Mint, that is the 8-ingredient mix, he purchased 3 buds for $512. Now, if we add in Benji's cut, his OG Kush total was $600, his Mega Fuel total was $570, and his Big Mint total was $640, which shows a couple of interesting things. First, the dealers will haggle. Our OG Kush asking price was $38. We actually got $46.15 for a markup of $8.15. The Mega Fuel asking price was $118. We actually got $142.50 for a markup of $24.50. And the Big Mint asking price was $176. The actual that we got per bud was $213.33 for a markup of $37.33. Now let's take a look at Jeff. Starting off with the OG Kush, we see that Jeff would not touch poor quality product. That's because Jeff has standards. He will only accept standard quality and above. So even though he set up a deal and Benji showed up with the product because it was poor product, he refused the product, meaning Benji sold nothing and we made $0. Once we met Jeff's standards, things changed. For the OG Kush, we sold 9 buds and made $320. Once again, it did not matter if it was standard, premium, or heavenly quality. As long as it wasn't poor, he was going to buy the exact same amount. For the Mega Fuel, he purchased 3 buds for $332, and for the Big Mint, he purchased 2 buds for $348. If we take a look at his breakdown, we see that the OG Kush, after we factor in Benji's cut, had a total sales of $400. The Mega Fuel was $415, and the Big Mint was $435. Once again, the dealer did haggle a bit and up the price a little bit for us for each one of these products. But even with all that haggling, we only made an additional $35 when you compare the OG Kush to the Big Mint 8-ingredient mix product. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, some very interesting results. It seems that in the current version, the only thing quality really affects is whether or not the customer will actually buy the product. If you do not meet their standards, they will refuse the deal when you are actually selling through your dealers. However, if you meet their standards, it does not matter if you go above their standards, they will still purchase the exact same amount and you will make the exact same amount of money. When you sell mixed products, you will sell significantly less buds. However, the difference in total money that you actually make is not very significant at all, especially when you factor in the cost of ingredients and the extra time that it takes to actually mix the product. In my opinion, and again, this is just my opinion, you may be better off just mass producing basic drugs and selling those in bulk. But I am going to reiterate the core motto in Savin's World: you play your game your way. There's no right way or wrong way to play. I'm just running these experiments to see what actually works in the game, and how you guys utilize this data is completely up to you. Now, I found this experiment very, very interesting. I would love to hear what you all think. So leave me a comment below and let me know, what do you think about this dealer's experiment? But for now, this is Savin saying thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and keep on grinding.